Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Sammy, and today I'll be installing a water tank on my roof rack and turning that into a shower. So let me show you guys what I have in hardware and parts, and then we'll go from there. I'll show you what I have to do to install it on my roof rack, which is a Prinsu roof rack. And yeah, let's go guys. Alright, so here is all the installation hardware that I came up with to make the water tank get installed on the roof rack. So these are basically going to be my fasteners. These are the things that are going to hold my water tank. And you're wondering why? Well, here's the water tank. This is the Ironman 4x4 50 liter flat water tank. It's 13 gallons. This is the top side. This is where you fill it up with water, and this is the little port that you can connect your fittings to where the water comes out. It's a plastic one, and you need 5/8 tubing, and that's what I have here. This is the 5/8 tubing. You only need about a foot, I mean, at least for my idea. And then I also got this adapter. It's a 5/8 on the one side barbed hose adapter to a 1/2 inch male. And then basically this one end is going to go into here, and I have a stainless steel clamp, and then this one is going to go into this end with another stainless steel clamp. And then I'm going to connect this assisted bather, which I think is the perfect thing for me. I'll show you guys what I mean when we get to that. This thing will thread into here, and that's it. So a few little other things is basically whenever this flange with 4-inch with a 4-inch by 1-inch diameter pipe goes onto my roof rack crossbar, is gonna get tied down right here and right here, and then it will go into the water tank. Will sit onto 2 of these because there's 2 holes, right? And then I'll have a washer on top and a nut. And because I couldn't find a washer that size, I came up with this. This is an electrical outlet type thing, which is gonna sit on here. And then I've got this conduit lock nut. It's a 1-inch. So, and then after that, I'm going to install these little, what are they called? Insulation noodles, I guess. I don't know. These will go over this thing right here, and that'll keep the tank from moving around and banging into the pipe. So let's go ahead guys, and I'll show you what I have to do on the roof rack. So because I have my awning brackets here, they're also from Prinsu. I'm gonna have to remove this awning bracket because it won't allow for the tank to sit flush, and I'll show you in just a second what I mean. And then now that I think about it, if I put my awning, it might be hitting my snorkel, which I never tried that out because I had my awning on before I installed the snorkel. So I'm gonna have to test that out and see. I might have to shift my awning back, or maybe I'll put it on the other side, but we'll see about that. All right, so I got the water tank up on there, and I just wanted to show you guys what I was talking about with the awning bracket. You see it's in the way over here. I can't have it all the way here because of that. So what I've done is I've ordered another crossbar, and I'm going to put it right here so that I can move this bracket over here so this can sit flush. But I'm still waiting on those to come in. So for today, I'm just gonna remove this bracket until I get my additional crossbars. Now you may not have this problem because you might not even be using the Prinsu roof rack awning brackets. You might be using awning brackets that mount, I don't know, here to the side somehow. But yeah, you might run into this issue if you have the Prinsu awning brackets. So, and my main goal with the tank is to have it sit on 3 crossbars. 1, 2, and 3. And it's not a lot of weight, but it's like, you know, 100 pounds. So I want to make sure there's enough support under it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this awning bracket now, and then we'll start installing the flanges with the 4-inch by 1-inch diameter pipe. I'll put them in the middle, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I've removed the awning bracket over here, and now as you can see, I can slide this in all the way, no problem. See, it's right before the edge. And then now I'm just gonna position it right in the center. Right, and let's go check the other side. I just want you guys to have some kind of an idea of how it looks when it's mounted. So here's where your barbed fitting is, and I guess your shower is going to be on this side unless you have a longer hose or whatever. And but yeah, you can see it also sits, it fits perfectly right inside in the width of the Prinsu roof rack. And then right here is where I'm gonna mount my extra crossbar and have my awning bracket. Probably on the other side if it doesn't touch the snorkel top. But if it does, I could always move the awning bracket to this side and have the awning sit on here. So it's not an issue. So now I'm going to grab my flange with pipe, and I'm going to kind of measure, adjust this to where it's nicely centered and everything. And I'm going to measure from the edge over here to the middle of that hole, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, and I'll show you guys how to secure those flanges. So stay with me, guys. All right, so I found the easiest solution to mount these flanges on the crossbars is put your bolts and nuts first. Put them on first, and after that you can just put them into your crossbar, and I'll show you now what I mean. Otherwise it's kind of tricky to align the hole and everything. I mean, it can be done, but this is way easier. So put this in here and twist it, turn it, and put your second one in here and slide them in, because you see how these are cut out for your, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. And then now you can just slide it over just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the other one, and then I'm going to well, actually first I think I should get this one right first, so let me do that. Alright, so now when I have this in the right spot, okay, now I could just lift up the tank and then tighten down the bolts, and that's it. Alright, I've got the flanges with the pipes installed, and let me show you guys how that looks. Alright, this is how it looks on top. They're sticking out a little bit, and then this is how it looks on the bottom. Let me lift this up, and there you go. So now I'm going to take the tank off and put those little foam noodles on those pipes right there, and then that'll keep everything nice and snug, and it'll keep the tank from getting damaged. And then I'm gonna put some tape, some foam on the one side it's sticky, some stickable foam strips around the base of this, so that the bottom of the tank doesn't get damaged from movement or rubbing or whatever. So I'll glue that foam on top of the base of the flange, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks. So stay with me, guys. Alright, so I have my little foam noodle pieces cut out. They slide right over the pipes, so we're all good on that. So now I'm gonna get the little foam tape, or weather stripping or whatever it's called. I'm gonna put it around the base of the flange so that the tank doesn't rub up on the metal, you know, if it's moving or whatever, which I don't think it should move, but you know, better safe than sorry. So all right, so I got all my foam on, as you guys can see. It's nice and squishy, and I put it on the other side as well. And now it's time to put the tank back on. So let me see if I can put you guys up on this. Okay. All right. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to tap the other side because of the foam keeping it from going all the way in. Alright, looks like this foam noodle stuff, I'm gonna have to cut the tops off, the top edges a little bit. I'll trim them with some scissors. Alright, you guys, I've trimmed this up, so let's go ahead and see how it'll fit. All right, I'll go check the other side. This one is okay. All right, you guys, were nice and snug. So now I'm gonna put my washer on. All right, so I showed you guys earlier, this is what I came up with as a washer. I couldn't find washers big enough at my hardware store, which is Ace Hardware. So I'm gonna use these as washers for now until I find something else. And then this is gonna be the nut. This is actually a conduit lock nut, so I'm gonna use this for now. And then I got some of this foam stuff. It's called rectangular gasket or whatever. Yeah, there was two of these in the pack. So what I've done is I've put one of them under this thing so it doesn't damage the metal washer doesn't damage my water tank. And I'm just gonna use that for now until I find something else. But yeah, I tried using the pipe cap, but it doesn't thread in far enough onto the pipe, because I guess the pipe thread or whatever tapers or whatever. So I'll find something else, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. I'll find something online. This is what I'm using for now. So let's go ahead and put one of these on, and then we'll do both of them. And then we'll start with the shower part of this whole thing. All right, so I got both of the washers on and both of the nuts on. So now I just got to tighten this down, and then we'll be ready for the shower lines and the hose and everything. All right, I'm gonna go tighten up the other side. But yeah, you guys can see how it looks. This was really my only option of installing this tank in this location, because you know, I got my solar panel right here, and then I have my roof box that's on this side, which currently is not installed. But the roof box basically comes up to here. So this is the only placement I could find for this water tank. By the way, I did get a reminder today. Remember to put your GX in 4 low. So guys, remember to do that every month. Otherwise, the transfer case thingy might get stuck from not using it, and then you're in trouble. So just set your reminder every 2 weeks or every month at least. All right, I'm gonna tighten this up, and then we'll start with the little barbed fitting there and the hose and everything. So stay with me, guys. All right, so I've got my 5/8 hose right here, inner diameter, and I'm gonna attach that to the barbed part on the water tank. And then I got my little hose clamp assortment. It's not a bad idea if you guys had one of these. This is the one. I don't know what size it is. I'm not sure what size this clamp is. It's not stamped anywhere, but I think this is the 3/4 inch. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this on the barb fitting. All right. So here's the barb fitting. And here we have our little hose. Sorry for the sound effects. I can't help it. All right, you guys, this is in all the way. All right, so I came up with the solution of everything about the shower. So basically this little assisted bather comes with a nice little valve, this chrome thing basically. So I decided to go with this little elbow here. It goes from the barb fitting to a 1/2 inch thread, which is the size needed for this little chrome piece that came with a little assisted bather thing. And then this thing also has a quick release right here for this, for the hose. And then on the bottom there's another threaded 1/2 inch I guess port, which I've capped off. So if this thing right here is removed, this automatically self seals, so there's no need for a shut-off valve because I've capped this off here and this thing self seals. So once I disconnect this with the quick release, it's done. The water's not gonna keep coming out of my tank. So that's why I picked this whole thing. And basically I can also add any hose or fitting I like that's on this bottom one if I need to, or I can fill up the tank from right here, but then no, that's not gonna work. But yeah, like I can add stuff to this right here with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this on the barb fitting on the tank, and then I'll show you guys the final result. We'll fill up the tank and do a test, so stay with me, guys. All right, so I got this done. This is how it looks. Here's my connection. As you can see, the bottom is the capped off portion. The one sticking sideways is where I connect my hose from that shower assist kit or whatever it's called. And then I've got my elbow fitting, which is a 5/8 barbed to a 1/2 inch. And then I got the 2 clamps, and then the other end of the hose goes onto the barbed fitting from the Ironman 4x4 tank. And that's it, you guys. That's the final product. I hope you like it. I can leave it permanently mounted like this, which I probably will leave the fitting permanently mounted, but I'm not gonna drive around with this tank unless it's, I don't know, empty or whatever. But that's the final product. As you can see, it's not too visible, doesn't stick out too much. I could probably mount another solar panel on top of that tank, like one of those flexible ones if I wanted to. And let's go ahead and try out that that quick connect hose that came with that kit. And the other reason why I got this is because it's got a valve right here, so while you're showering you can just stop the water whenever you don't need it and put it back on whenever you're ready to rinse. So, and then there's different settings for the water flow, I guess. You know, I don't know, feels kind of cheap, but I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. We'll see. I think it was like $20 or $30. It even comes with a little mount of some sort for the head, but I'm not worried about that because my shower tent has something to hold, which I am getting that shower tent soon. I ordered it. It'll be here hopefully within 1 or 2 weeks. I'll do an install video on that one as well. So let's go ahead and try fitting this quick connect hose. I think there's some slots in here, and you twist. Yeah, there we go. Wow, this is pretty long. Once you unwind it, holy moly. Maybe I can replace this hose. I don't know. We'll see. This is just a first, idea. I'm not saying it's gonna be my final setup for the shower, but this is what came to mind right now. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the tank with water and test this bad boy out. I think it's closed in the down position, open in the up position. But yeah, I'm gonna disconnect this real quick. I think you just push in and then turn it, and that's it. But yeah, let me get my hose, water hose, and fill up the tank and take a shower. You'll see it'll come to the top. All right, guys, my son is filling up the tank. He has to tell me when it's almost full, and then he'll tell me when to switch it off. All right, you guys, we filled up the water tank. I do have a little leak, but that's because I didn't put any thread, what do you call it? Thread seal, the white stuff on the bottom of this where the cap goes. So that's the only place it's leaking from. Everywhere else we're good. And then the nice thing about my setup is you can actually see through this clear tube that I've got water in the tank. So I guess whenever that's empty, there won't be any water in there. So alright, so now I'm gonna take my my hose connection, my quick connection from that kit, plug it in here, all right, and twist. And now we should theoretically have water. What? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, we got water. And this is actually the perfect flow because it's just gravity fed, and it's not a lot of pressure, but it's enough to wash your body parts. And let me see if I twist this. How does that work? Okay, yeah, you twist a little nozzle head. All right, that's not bad. It's gravity fed. You're not gonna waste a lot of water. It's not a lot of pressure. All right, so I recommend keep it on the first setting, which is this one right here. And as you can see, you've got enough water. And then you can hang that up like so. Let's see. Maybe not enough pressure, but when you keep it down lower or further away, that'll work. Or you can add a little pump if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, it works. So yeah, you guys, that's my setup. And then once you push this lever down, it's closed, and then the water stops. And then right here you twist, you push in and twist, and then you take that off, and that's it. Oh, I almost didn't show you guys this because I didn't realize it was in the box, but it's like a suction cup shower head holder. Basically, the way you activate it, the suction cup is just twist it tight. You can put it on your body panel or on your window or wherever you want. So yeah, this thing is pretty cool. So I just realized the cap on the tank was not open, so that means there was no water allowed to come into the tank while the water was coming out. So maybe that's why my pressure was so low. I'm gonna try opening up the tank so that air can come in, and then we'll see if the pressure increases. So give me a second, guys, stay with me, and I'll let you know. All right, so I opened up the cap on the water tank. It didn't make much of a difference. So if you really want water pressure, you're just gonna have to add some kind of a 12-volt water pump of some sort. But honestly, for me, it's good enough. I don't need much water pressure. Actually, it's better with less water pressure because you're gonna use less water that way. And yeah, it doesn't bother me. If I decide to have, I don't know, water pressure, then I can add a little water pump or something in between that fitting or whatever. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. That's how it looks. I'm gonna add some thread seal on that cap. I'll have to obviously drain the water first. But other than that, I'm done for now. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and you know, I'd be happy to help. This is my own idea. I came up with this whole mounting way of mounting it, and you know, if you have a better idea, let me know. And the plumbing was also my idea. There was a nice lady at the hardware store that also kind of told me about that assisted whatever it's called, shower head thing. So but yeah, that all right, you guys, it's been a few days. I wanted to make an update on this video. It's the same video for you guys, but anyways, as you can see, I don't have my tank on the GX. I took it off because I can't recommend this tank because I discovered something. Basically, the placement of the little port that comes out of the tank is very badly placed. It's not placed at the bottom of the tank, and whenever you go and use the tank and the water stops, it's because the water level got to the bottom of that little pipe that comes out, and the water below that can't come out. It can't drain out because the placement of the pipe is basically above the bottom of the tank. It's like it's close to the bottom, but it's not at the bottom. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But basically, you're left with about 3 to 4 gallons of water in the tank that you can't use after the water has stopped, unless you park your GX or whatever vehicle you have the tank on, unless you park it like at an angle to drain the rest of the water out of the tank. Otherwise it's not usable. You're just wasting, you know, you're keeping 3 to 4 gallons inside the tank and you're not making use of it. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so here we have the tank, and basically if you look at where this port is, I would say it's about almost an inch above the bottom of the tank. So whatever water is left over, whenever that level gets to the bottom of this port, you can't get that water out. It'll just sit in there. And this was just designed badly by Iron Man 4x4. I did go online and find some water tanks in Australia that actually come with the water ports right at the bottom. They actually come out right here, and they're actually slanted down, and that would be perfect. And that's why also the other reason is you don't have much pressure. Even though it's not pressurized, you should have more pressure than what I was getting, like I showed you guys. Because if this port was down here, all the weight of the water would be pushing down. All that weight would be pushing down onto the water to come out through that port that would be at the bottom. And that's not the case here. And I did check to confirm the other day. Like, you could clearly see, you know, there was like probably, you know, 1 inch of water or a little bit less left at the bottom after this thing stopped running. And the only way to get the rest of the water out is to tilt the tank this way, which would mean you would have to tilt your truck or SUV. So yeah, that's the situation with this. But guys, I went ahead and bought, I took the easy way out. I went ahead and bought a water port weekender model. But yeah, I got lucky. The same night that I bought it, they brought up the price by $150. There was actually like 2 or 3 websites where you could actually buy it. I tried checking out on a few websites, and as I was checking out, the price changed from $349 to $549, and I got lucky on one of the websites and I bought it for the $399, and the price didn't change on me. So, but now if you're trying to buy the water port, it's gonna be $550. So, but yeah guys, lesson learned. I can't recommend that tank because, like I said, you can't make use of the full 13 gallons. So it's basically like you've got 10 gallons and it's not pressurized. So I might as well get something that has less gallons and at least it's pressurized. And but yeah, that's it for now. You could still use this tank, it's up to you, but I wouldn't recommend it because to me, I see it as wasteful. Like on my way to the trip, okay, I've got the extra weight on top, but on the way back, if I'm coming back, I want to be empty. I don't want to carry around an extra, you know, 3 to 4 gallons. Maybe it's 5 gallons, I didn't measure it. But yeah, I just think it's wasteful and I wouldn't recommend it. But if it's okay for you, you don't need that much pressure, you know, and you don't mind carrying around the extra weight and not having access to that, you know, 3-4 gallons, then maybe it's for you. So I just know it's not for me. And but at least it was fun. It was exciting, you know, building it, putting everything together with all the fittings and everything. But yeah, that's it for now, you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like it, share, and if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks. Bye.